How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Flesh and Blood video. With the release of Welcome to Wraith and Arcane Rising Unlimited Edition actually just a few days away, I figured it would be the perfect time to share with y'all my Alpha and First Edition collection for Flesh and Blood. So today's video, I'm going to show off my Flesh and Blood collection, but not just the cards. I'm also going to show off my personal decks. I do have what I would call a battle box. This is my Flesh and Blood battle box here, and this is where all of my truly valuable cards are because, you know, I like to play the game and I like to play with all of the cards. So I'm going to show off all of my decks, my battle box, how I kind of have it all set up, and I'm also going to show off my I have it off screen here. This is a giant binder, and I mean giant binder, of all of my Alpha and First Edition print rares and foils from Welcome to Wraith, Arcane Rising, and Crucible of War. You can kind of see I have it all, you know, labeled up. And of course, I will also be sharing with you this binder, which is my binder for all of my extra chase cards. You know, Majestics, Supers, foil promos, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, today's video, I'm going to show off my Alpha and First Edition Flesh and Blood collection. I don't have any sealed product, so if you're going to come looking for like a big sealed collection, I actually opened it all. I opened up I think it was either 6 or 8 Welcome to Wraith boxes, about 12 to 14 Arcane Rising boxes, and about, is it 12, maybe 12-ish Crucible of War boxes. And, you know, I'm a player. I didn't want to, you know, hoard the cards. At the time, there was actually no reason to because all the boxes were only like, you know, 70 to 80 bucks. I slightly wish that I'd kept at least one of them sealed just for like a personal collection, but, you know, it's not a big deal, even though they're worth a lot of money. I'm a player of the game, you know, as well as a collector. I don't really collect the sealed stuff as much, but I will note that I will be collecting at least one box of every sealed set going forward, just kind of, you know, to have for display and to have, you know, for my collection. So without further ado, let's take a look at all of my Alpha and First Edition Flesh and Blood cards. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, so let's do it. So let's kick it off very simply with these two Ira welcome decks. I do have another one that is sealed kind of like on my display. You might have seen it in the intro to the video. So I got these two Ira welcome decks. These will probably just stay sealed in my collection. I think these are really cool, and I think once these are out of print, they're going to be very, you know, highly demanded. Also, I kind of lied about the sealed product thing. I actually have a, you know, little mini box of Crucible of War. This is actually for my patrons. For those who have selected the booster pack tier or higher, these are the packs that they will be getting. So this is actually the only sealed product I currently have. There's, you know, there's a few booster packs in here. When this is out, I'll be getting another one and using that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do Unlimited, Arcane Rising, or Welcome to Wraith. I might go Welcome to Wraith. I'm probably going to post a little poll on my Patreon very soon about that once this gets very low. But, I mean, it's already low, but once it gets lower than it currently is. So, yeah, I do have this little box of Crucible of War, First Edition. All right, so now on to the main course. This giant binder of Alpha and First Edition. Oh, this is going to be upside down. Arcane Rising, Welcome to Wraith, and Crucible of War. I had to kind of adjust my camera because this thing is so big and heavy. But yeah, let's just kind of go over this real quick. There's a little bit of a glare, but I do have an Ira welcome deck, just kind of like, you know, opened up, and I put all the cards in here. Just kind of like, it's really nice to, you know, really nice to see. Let's kind of get both sides here. Definitely want to reduce the glare. I really love the art on this head jab. This is the only place, by the way, the Ira welcome deck, the only place you can get this really sweet head jab artwork. And so yeah, let's just kind of keep going. Here we have the start of my Alpha Welcome to Wraith. And, you know, as you can see, you get a lot of copies of, you know, the rares. You'll end up with a ton of them. And I haven't even actually opened up that much Welcome to Wraith, especially compared to Arcane Rising and Crucible of War. But, I mean, even here, you can see all of the duplication that I have. So, honestly, if you buy at least, like, maybe 2 boxes, you're going to end up with probably a full playset of all of the rares and, you know, and then some. There might be some that you might be missing, but it's pretty easy just to buy the ones you're missing. You'll also end up with a good number of foils. I do have the foil rares in here as well, like this, you know,
foil Staunch Response. None of these ones I have double sleeved. That's going to change later when I show you some of my other stuff, because there's so many cards in here. So let's go through this a little bit quicker. Here we have Snatch, one of the premier cards from Welcome to Wraith. I love this card. It's going to be a it's a really good card, basically, is what I'm trying to say. We also have some of your potions. Got some foil potions up top, as well as some of the sigils. Sigils are always, always pretty good. And then we have some of the other, generic basic cards. These are all of the common foils. Let's see if I can get this a little bit. It's hard to tell here, but these are all common foils from Alpha Welcome to Wraith. And I just kind of have them sorted by class here, just like I have all the other cards sorted by class. So we'll just go through all of these. These are just, like I said, just common foils. There's some really nice ones like Razor Reflex down here. Yeah, look at that. It looks real nice. And, you got some Nimblism, Slogism, Scar for a Scar. The foiling on this Scar for a Scar is actually really nice. If I can, let's see if we can get the foiling on here. A little, ooh, no, not really. just a little bit. But, you know what? I said it's really nice. I'm going to show you how it's really nice. There we go. There you go. Foil, Scar for a Scar. I love the pink pitch up top. Some of the first print versions of the Alpha Welcome to Wraith, some of them have like pink printing for the red pitch cards. So yeah, most of the ones I have are that pink printing. And now we get on to Arcane Rising, and now things start to get crazy because I've opened up a ton of booster packs of Arcane Rising and Crucible of War, and you're gonna see lots of duplication for most of these cards. Like look at this. Yeah, I got a lot of these. And this is even with me having decks. Like I have several decks, so we'll go over the decks, in just a little bit. But I have 5 decks currently. So a lot of the really good cards from here, I've already, taken the ones out for said decks. I have noticed, like, gotten certain cards way less than other, like, specifically this Take Aim. I've only gotten, like, a couple yellow pitch Take Aim, which is weird, because I've gotten, like literally dozens in some cases of other, types of cards, which is, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. Same with this Ether Sync. Well, I only got, like, 4 of these. Yeah, it's weird. I don't even think I'm using this in my dash deck. Well, I might be using like maybe 1 or 2, but yeah, it's weird. Didn't get very many of those. Here's all of these Pedal to the Metal. Got lots of Pedal to the Metal. Pour the Mold. Got lots of Pour the Mold. And then here we have, our Rune Blade cards. One of my favorite classes in Flesh and Blood right now. Got, Yield, Foil, Spell, Blade, Assault. And we're just going to get through these even quicker. We got some reduced to rune chance here, and as you can see, if you buy like a lot of boxes, you're gonna end up with copious amounts of the rares. Is that a foil? Oh yeah, really nice looking foil. Life for a Life down there. And yeah, I mean, really, when you buy more boxes and you open boxes, you're really hunting for the supers and the majestics, because you end up with so many rares and like countless, actually like countless commons. I'm not even going to show you my commons. I have giant BCW boxes just full of Alpha and First Edition commons. Like just so many commons. I even made decks that I gave away early when I started first covering Flesh and Blood. I made decks, 4 decks for Arcane Rising, and I gave them away. And I still have like a bunch of this stuff. So yeah, let's oh yeah, here, let's go back a little bit. This is the start to all of my Arcane Rising foil commons. So every single one of these cards is foil. I kind of wish the lighting could show the foiliness off a little bit better without showing the glare. That's the big downside of having the lighting, or having them in the binder, because the binder is quite glossy, and it shows off a lot of the glare. But yo, look at these wizard foils, are excellent looking. The lone wizard foil up top. Ooh, this page is beautiful to look at. The Sunkiss and Moonwish. Oh yeah, like look at that Moonwish, dude. Yeah, actually beautiful cards. And my full playset of foil Ravenous Rabbles, or at least the red pitch version, as well as the Whisper of the Oracle. These cards are also quite beautiful to look at. So we're gonna continue on through these. Once again, just lots of foil commons. And then here we have Crucible of War. You know, very similar to the other ones. I've kind of sorted these by class, but I put the heroes first. So we have heroes, all the heroes, and, you know, heroes and kind of a couple extra little, you know, little token cards. And then we have our equipment. So we have all of just our rare equipment from Crucible of War. Once again, I've given away a lot of these on my Patreon. I like to do themes. So like 1 month, I gave away one of the young heroes and then like the weapons. So I gave away like Benji and his 2 like needles. And, you know, and I gave like a rare, like a ninja rare or like a foil ninja rare. Speaking of which, here we have a bunch of ninja rares, and this is going to be very similar to Arcane Rising, just copious amounts of some of these cards. Here we have Crane Dance, excellent looking art on Crane Dance, some of which are foil. And we have Dauntless. I really like this card, by the way, this warrior card. I think it's fantastic, especially the red pitch version. We have the Barraging Bighorn. I got a lot of brute foils from Crucible of War. After opening up all of my cases and looking through all the cards, I got so many brute cards. I got way more than other classes, which is very interesting. Here we have the Towering Titan Guardian cards. We have, you know, Cindering Foresight, fantastic card for the Wizard class, like actually fantastic. We have your Hero Landing, High Speed Impact. Get the foiling in that one. I'll go through these even quicker. We're almost done with this binder, and then we're gonna go into the really chase stuff. This is just kind of showing you kind of what to expect if you open up a lot of boxes. Some cards, like this cash-in, even if I opened like 12 boxes, didn't get a whole lot of cash-in. Very interesting. Like less than 1 per box. Yeah, very interesting. And some cards are like, you know, about 1 per box-ish. Yeah. We have your Promise of Plenty. Got a lot of Promise of Plenty here. Maybe it's a little bit less than one per box. I see a lot of 9-ofs here. But I mean, I am using some of the cards elsewhere. And then here are all of my foil Crucible of War cards. And once again, these are all sorted, you know, by class. As we, you know, finish this off, I always love looking at the Wizard pages because the Wizard foiling is excellent, quite excellent. Honestly, the Wizard and the Ninja cards, I think, are the best looking in foil, though Mechanologist also tends to look quite good. Oh yeah, look at these Ninja cards. Excellent. And then we just have, you know, to finish it off, we have some Warrior cards, including like more than a playset of the Red Pitch Hit and Run. For some reason, tend to pull a lot of those Red Pitch Hit and Run. And this binder is like maxed out, so this binder will probably just end up being only my alpha print cards, my alpha and first edition cards. And so when I start buying unlimited, I'll probably make a new binder, and that'll just be unlimited Arcane Rising and Welcome to Wraith. And then for when Monarch comes out, I'll make a new binder specifically for Monarch, for all the stuff that comes out next year. And I'm the kind of person, you know, I have a YouTube channel, obviously you're watching it, but I buy a lot of product, basically. I open up a lot of boxes, at least a case, mostly like 2 cases of every single set. So let me show you some of the really nice stuff. This binder is what you would call like my trade binder or my chase binder. Basically, all of my really nice cards are in here, starting off with a bunch of foil heroes. So I have a full set of all of the foil heroes from Welcome to Wraith. So we got, you know, we got Dorinthia, Bravo, Katsu, and Reinhardt all in foil. And all these cards are, of course, not double sleeve, but they all have a perfect fit sleeve in here. Let's try to get the foiling for good old Bravo here. There we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. I also put a Zen State in here. It's not worth a ton, but I like it. I think the foiling on it looks very nice. Yeah, very, very nice. As well as, you know, some of the foils of the heroes from Crucible of War. These are worth a good, you know, they're worth a good number of pennies. I think they're each at least worth about 20 bucks. And the Ira foil isn't too bad either. And I've kind of sorted these accordingly. We have some foil tokens here, Seismic Surge and Quicken. These are all worth a couple bucks. And here are all of my cold foil equipment. I have a decent number of these. A lot of them are actually in my decks. I'm using a lot of them. But I do have some extras, like some Null Rune here, Bracers of Belief. These ones are all Crucible of War and Welcome to Wraith. And then I have a ton of not Arcane Rising. These are all Crucible of, oh my god, I keep mixing up the sets. Crucible of War, I have a lot of them. I also have a couple Arcane Rising and Welcome to Wraith. It's basically what I'm trying to get at. Not all of them are cold foil. These ones here are not cold foil. These are just the extra majestic equipments that I have from Crucible of War, and I do have at least one of each of every single one of these. And that's true for almost all of the cards currently in the game. I have at least one of everything with some minor exceptions, and basically almost a playset of everything. I really need to fill out my Welcome to Wraith collection. That's the one that's really on the low side. So yeah, these ones, Gambler's Gloves, fantastic card. These ones are not cold foil. And then here we have all of our Majestics and Supers. These are sorted by class and not by set. So we have, first edition or alpha Mugenshi release. Sometimes I have full play sets, sometimes I don't. And you'll see that I have certain classes a lot more in this binder than others because those classes are classes that I have not made decks with yet. So I have a lot of ninja cards in here because I have not yet made a ninja deck. These are all foil Ira specializations. They're not super expensive, but they're very nice, as well as some Majestics from Alpha Welcome to Wraith, like Ancestral Empowerment. Notice the pink pitch value, as well as some foil supers like this beautiful Pounding Gale with the pink pitch value. We're going to move on to the Guardian cards. Some of these cards I opened in booster boxes that you've seen, on the channel. So like this Foil Showtime was in like my second ever Flesh and Blood video. And Guardian is another class that I don't have. I have not made a deck with yet, basically. I did trade one of my Crippling Crushes, but I got something quite good for it. And we'll talk about that as we go on. Here we have some Warrior cards. It's just these because... well, I have a Warrior deck, so all the good Warrior cards are in my Warrior deck. I do not have a Brute deck, so as you can see, I got full play sets of a lot of Brute cards. I have traded or sold a lot of my Welcome to Wraith Brute cards. I don't really regret it because I don't intend on making Brute right now, but I might in the future because I had some pretty nice ones. And we got some Beast Within up here. Here we have just these Feign Deaths. One of which is a foil, which is pretty nice. I do have a Ranger deck, so I'm using a lot of Ranger cards. Same is true for Wizard here. Got some foil Majestic Aetherizes. But I have a Wizard deck, so a lot of my Wizard cards are in the Wizard deck. Next up, we have the Mechanologists, and I do have a bunch of foil, like just randomly foil Mechanologists, Super, and Majestics here. But I do have a Mechanologist deck, so there's a lot of cards in there. Here we have Wizard. Same is true. Wait a minute. Did I already... Oh, I have some Wizard back here. Oh, I need to move some cards over. I put the Wizard cards with the Ranger cards. I actually need to move these because these were actually, I was playtesting with these and I just kind of threw them back in here. I need to move them back over here, and I'll probably need to move these two cards. Anyway, that's for future me to do. So these are some of the other Wizard cards I'm using. As you can see, I have a single of a lot of these, and that's because my Wizard deck is actually a Blitz deck, so I only have two of each of the cards in the Blitz deck. These would make a full playset of all of them because I have full playset of all the Wizard cards, as well as most of the Arcanite cards or the Rune Blade cards as well. And here we have just our generics. Chains of Eminence is a very interesting card. I have a foil one. I have this Tome of Fyendal. I do have a full playset of the Tome of Fyendal, alpha printing. Two of them are being used in my Wizard deck, which is why they're here, as well as full playset of Snag, a single Sad Coax of Commotion. I do need to get two more of these to make a full playset. I don't really have a deck to use it in right now, but I think it's a really sweet card. And then I have some of the foil kind of like hard to get rares from Crucible of War down here. And then last but not least, last ditch effort. And finally, before we end the video, let's talk about my battle box and my decks. That's where the true value is in this collection. As much as I am a collector, I am so much more a player of card games. I love card games so much, and I like to play with them. I do like to collect them too, almost equally, but I like to play them even more. So this is my Flesh and Blood battle box. This is an Ultimate Guard archive. I do highly recommend these. These are very nice, and they're very good for storing your decks. Here I have 4 decks here. Well, I have 5 decks total, but I have these 4 decks here, and this one and this really nice old school Rebecca Gay box that I've had since I was like 12. I've had this thing forever. So yeah, let me take out the decks and I'll just kind of show you with what I'm working with right now. These decks are all slightly upgraded with Crucible of War. I have featured most of these on the channel. Some of them have been significantly altered. And then here, underneath the Rebecca Gay box, I have the big chase cards of my collection. These are my legendaries, and I have almost every single legendary currently in Flesh and Blood. So here's my Grasp of the Arknight that I opened on the channel. My very first legendary ever pulled. We have Teklo Foundry Heart. I traded my other Grasp of the Arknight that I pulled for this Teklo Foundry Heart. I have a Skullbone Cross Wrap, trying to get it in focus without getting too much of the glare. We have Storm Striders, and then the Arcanite Skullcap. So I do have every single legendary from first edition Arcane Rising. These are all in cold foil. And I also have these Brave Forge Bracers, as well as the much coveted Fyendel's Spring Tunic. So basically I am missing 3 legendaries from the first 2 sets. And those are the 2 sets that I really want to focus on. I'm also missing, the Crucible of War, Fyendel's Spring Tunic, but I don't really care about that one as much. And I'm also missing the Shiana. I do really want Shiana, but before Shiana, I actually would love to complete my set of not Crucible of War, my Welcome to Wraith legendaries. You can kind of see some of the cold foiling there. So I'm missing the Mask of Momentum, the Scab Skin, the Brute Pants, and I'm also missing the Tectonic Plating. Gonna try to pick those up, but I don't know if I have the funds for it now, because the pricing of these has shot up significantly. I would say last time I looked, each one of these was well over $200 a piece. So this is what, $1,000 worth of cards here, and then that's not to say the Arcanite Skullcap is also worth a pretty penny. I've seen it anywhere between $500 and $800. And then the tunic is pushing $1,000. So this is, close to $3,000 worth of Flesh and Blood first edition and alpha print product. So pretty crazy stuff here. The pricing is insane. I do want to get first edition versions, or the alpha versions of those ones that I'm missing, but we'll see how it goes. But those currently that's like the pride of my collection. I have those in here so I can still play with them. They're in top loaders. They're double sleeved in top loaders. So I can kind of still play with them if I need to. But then I also have the decks here. So yeah, let's take a look at the decks real quick. Let's just kind of grab them at random. I'm not sure if they are in order or if they're shuffled up, because I have been looking at them recently. So this is Azalea. I do run the new Redliner. This one is a cold foil. You can kind of see a little bit of that there, but I do have the Death Dealer in here just in case I want to run it. And then I have a cold foil Bullseye Bracers and some Perch Grapplers. The missing equipment from here are the legendaries, in the battle box. So I just pull the legendaries I need out, like the Cross Wrap and the Spring Tunic. And then I also have the rest of my Ranger cards. I got some foil Remorseless. Actually, I have 2. Let's see if I can get the shining on this one. 2 foil Remorseless. So I have a full playset of Remorseless, full playset of Red in the Ledger. Got some common stuff, Sleep Dart. A lot of these are foil. Like some are pretty brutal too, like this foil Headshot. We have some Endless Arrow, full playset of Endless Arrow, and one of them which is foil. Beautiful foiling on that. Pathing Helix. All of them are foil. I have a full playset of Poison the Tips, just the tips, and one of them is foil. We have a full playset of Rapid Fire, one of which is also foil. Knock the Death Whistle, one of my favorite cards of all time, partially because it was my very first spoiler card for Flesh and Blood, but it's just a really sweet card in general. Full playset of 3 of a kind, one of which is actually foil. Let's see if we can get that foily. There we go. Foil, 3 of a kind action. Love this card. We have just 2 of Art of War. I do need to pick up another Art of War. So it's one of the cards I'm looking to pick up. One of the few cards I don't have a full playset of. I got some Take Aims, and the rest are going to be rares from here. So I got Take Aims. Some of these are foil. Got some Plunder Run. Some of these are foil. more Plunder Run, even more Plunder Run. Then we have some, Alpha Nimblism, some of our foil, and then Razor Reflex. So that was Azalea. Let's open up another one of these random ones. Ooh, this one. This is my favorite deck. So that Azalea deck that you saw, that was just a classic constructed deck. This one is a Blitz deck. This is my Dorinthia Blitz deck, my favorite deck that I have. This one is my Cold Foil Dawn Blade. I have a Courage of Bladehold, fantastic card. Would like to get a Cold Foil one of these, and a Cold Foil Refraction Bolters. Then I just have some copper tokens because I'm running some stuff that use them. So I got some Stinging Steel Blade, Iron Song Determination, one of which is foil. We got some Push Forwards, 2 foils, some Dauntless, foily Dauntless. Pink Pitch Sharpened Steel. Got some other Sharpened Steels here. Iron Song Response. This deck's very, very similar to the one that I made a deck tech about, but I have changed a good number of cards in here. We have, classic Glint the Quicksilver. Got some Spoils of War from Crucible of War. Got some Warrior's Valor. Alpha print cards. Got some Hit and Run. I found the yellow pitch to be quite good because it gives you enough pitch and the effect doesn't really matter. It does matter, but what I'm trying to say is the red pitch version isn't that much better than the yellow pitch version to not run the yellow pitch version and just have the extra resources. Same with the blue pitch. So I don't have the red, I just have the yellow and the blue in here. Got my Twinning Blades. I did have that full art Twinning Blade. I did end up selling it for a pretty good penny. I do have 2 Steel Blade Supremacies, Steel Blade Shunts, one of which is foil, more Steel Blade Shunts. So yeah, that is my Dorinthia deck. Let's do the other black box. This one is probably, I was gonna say it's probably Mechanologist. So yeah, this is my Dash deck. This one is a classic constructed deck with my Teklo Plasma Pistol. We're running the Viziertronic Model 1, or Viziertronic Model I, and a Goliath Gauntlet, and a Cold Steel Achilles Accelerator. Try to get it's really hard to see the cold steel on a lot of these. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it a little bit. And then for the starting item, I used the induction chamber, foil induction chamber. So we got some Teklo cores, got some convection amplifiers. A lot of these cards are just kind of like randomly foil in here because I like playing with the foil versions of the cards. Got some Spark of Genius, got some Pour the Mold, some Remembrance, one of which is foil, which is really nice. Alpha Printing Foil Remembrance is a pretty nice one. We have some High Octanes, Maximum Velocity, Overloops, and a lot of the rest of these are just going to be like common cards, common or rares, and a lot of them are going to be foil too. I was able to foil out like most of this deck, not intentionally. It's just like I opened up a lot of cards that were Mechanologists and foil. So we'll flip through these pretty quickly, but yeah, this is my Mechanologist deck. Next is a Wizard deck. This one is Blitz, and I think this is probably the best Blitz deck in the format. And I'm going to be doing a full video on this deck list very, very soon, but I'll kind of quickly go over it. Not all the cards in here are going to be the same as in the video. So like this Talismanic Lens might be an Arcanite Skull Cap in the video, but we have this Metacarpus Node, and I have this Robe of Rapture. The Talismanic Lens is a cold foil. And then I have some of the cards. We got some Aether Flares, got some Arcane Spindle, and once again, a lot of these cards are just randomly foil. We got the Blazing Ether, Cindering Foresight. We got some Fork Lightnings, and as you saw, I did have full playsets of these. I have a lot of the other missing pieces in that binder. So we got Tome Aetherwind, Boltic Bolt, got some sweet foil Chain Lightningness, Lesson in Lava, got Sonic Boom, as well as the other 2 Tome of Fyendel. Got the Aether Flare, more Cindering Foresight, Energy Potions, foil Energy Potions, Gaze the Ages, fantastic wizard card, Reverberates, once again, a lot of these common cards are going to be foil, like the Snapback, really nice looking card, as well as some Time Snap Potions and more Voltic Bolts. And then finally, my probably my second favorite deck. It's probably tied for favorite. I don't know if I like the Dorinthia Blitz deck or this deck more. This is my Rune Blade deck, and it does have the nicest box. It's it's seen some better days, but this is an old school Rebecca Gay box. And yeah, I like this one because it has enough space for a double sleeve deck and tokens. And so I do run you know, a heavy Rune Blade or Rune Chant focused deck. So I got, these are almost all these are foil. All foil Rune Blade, Rune Chant tokens. So I got, it's 10. I have a stack of 10 Rune Chant tokens. You gotta have the foil ones, man. You gotta have the foil ones. And then we have the actual Viserai deck. Would love to get a foil Viserai at some point. So I do like to run the Reaping Blade, honestly, but I have the Nebula Blade here depending on the matchup. We got a cold foil Crown of Dichotomy, a cold foil Blood Sheath Skeleton. Let's see if I can get the cold foiling in this one. You can kind of see it, but yeah, this one's quite nice. Cold foil Blood Sheath Skeleton. That's one of the cards I was really hoping to pull from Crucible of War. Turns out I pulled one. We got a Mage Master Boots, and then we get on with the deck. This deck is, like all the other decks, you know, not budget. So we got a full playset of Arc Knight Ascendancy, one of which is foil. Awesome looking card. We got Ninth Blade of the Blood Oath. We got some Dread Trapinch. I only have 2 of these, but honestly, I don't know if I'd want to run more than 2. It's a pretty heavy resource card. We got some Rune Flash, some of our foil, Amplify the Arc Knight. I think all of these are foil if we can get the foiling in. We have a full playset of Command and Conquer. Fantastic card. Pretty expensive card right now, actually. Become the Arc Knight. Also foil. Got a full playset of those. Got our Gorgonian Tome. This card is fantastic in this deck. When I do the deck tech on this, I'll tell you why, but it's a great card in this deck. I did sell my foil one for a pretty good penny as well. We got some Rattlebones. Pretty good card. Mauvrion Skies. I think all my Mauvrion Skies are foil. I love this card. I have a full playset. So I have 3 red, 3 yellow, and 3 blue. Get the foiling in there. I have a full playset of Mordred Tide, one of which is a foil Mordred Tide. And then I have 3 Read the Runes. I say Read the Bones. 3 Read the Runes, and then got some, you know, defense reactions, reduce to Rune Chant, reduce to Rune Chant. We got some Pink Pitch Slogism foil, which is always great. Got a playset of the reds. And we have some, you know, Pink Pitch Pummels. Got some Yellow Pitch Pummels. Oh, look at that. And then we have some Oath of the Arc Knight. We got the red, and we got the yellow here. And some of these are foil. So, yeah, that is my battle box. I do have those legendaries kind of separated, you know, sequestered aside. So, you know, we can kind of play some decks. So if I was like, hey, you want to play some Flesh and Blood with me, and I trust the person not to, you know, destroy my cards. I'm like, yo, which one do you want to play? I have a couple constructed decks. I have a couple blitz decks. We can kind of like pass it around and try some stuff out. A lot of these decks, some of them are pretty easy to play. Some of them are very tricky to play. I feel that Rune Blade is kind of, I don't know, man. It's not the best, but it's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun building up a ton of rune chants and just boom, take 16 damage or whatever. It's really sweet. I like the Rune Blade deck quite a bit. And that's the video on my Alpha and First Edition Flesh and Blood collection. It's going to be so interesting to look back on this video, kind of like a, you know, as a time capsule in a few years and kind of look at these cards, and I'll be like, yo, he said it was worth like $200, but now they're worth like $500, or maybe they're not worth anything. Who knows what the future is going to bring? But I really think that this game is gonna be here in 5 years from now, and it's going to be huge. I think this game's going to be very big. Mark my words. Stamp the date of this video. Mark my words. This game is going to be huge. And, you know, I'll eat my words if that's not true, but I really think it's going to be true. And these currently are the prize of my TCG collection, to be honest. I have some very valuable Magic cards. I can, you know, grab a Magic deck that I have off screen. I have a bunch of random Magic decks off screen, and, you know, I can pull out $100 cards. You know what? I said it. I'll do it. You know, let's do this. I have... Here is my Yawgmoth Thran Physician deck. See? Foil, Yawgmoth. This deck is just packed full of, like, very expensive foils. So I have, let's see, where's my foil? I have Ancient Tomb. It's like, what, a $40 card. I have some, you know, what do you call these? The Amonkhet Invocations. I have some, you know, kind of old school Urza cards in here. Hold on, let me... This is a big deck. This is a commander deck. So Yawgmoth's Will, several $100 card. The whole point of me showing you this is that even though I have all of these Magic the Gathering cards and very, very nice decks, I have like maybe 4 decks of this caliber. You know, foil Karn Liberated, foil Liliana of the Veil, Old school strip mine. It's a little bit of flexing, but it's also just saying like how much. We got some Vampiric Tutor, we got some Signed Soul Ring, and then we have like, Mana Crypt. Yeah, I got some, pretty high-end stuff in here. The whole point of this is that even though I have something like this from Magic the Gathering, that's probably worth, a couple $1,000s or whatever, I still consider these cards here to be the pride of my TCG collection. That's how much I love Flesh and Blood. So, let that sink in. I might be crazy, but crazy is as crazy does, I guess. And I think Flesh and Blood is actually a fantastic game. So thank you very much for watching this video. Like I said, I think it'll be a really nice time capsule here. It's got a little speck on there. It'll be a really nice time capsule to see, down the road. And I'm really excited for the unlimited release of Arcane Rising and Welcome to Wraith. I'm hoping to get the rest of the legendaries that I'm missing, but there's no replacing the alpha print versions of these cards. All really, really cool stuff. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for a lot more Flesh and Blood content on the channel. I'm gonna be having a lot more Flesh and Blood content on the channel going forward. Maybe check out my Patreon if you deem my content worthy. Once again, I kind of mentioned it before, I do have a patron tier where I give booster packs and, random cards back to you. Those random cards, they come from that giant binder. That giant binder full of rares and foils. Those are the cards that I will be picking if you are one of my Flesh and Blood tier members. So, if you sign up for the random card tier, you're going to get a random, rare or foil, maybe sometimes more. I'm very generous. I like giving back. And then if you sign up for the booster pack tier, it's going to be one of these Crucible of War packs. Well, at least for now. If you're watching in the future, it's probably something different. All right, that's enough rambling. Thanks again. This is like the third time I've said thanks. Thanks again, and I will see you next time for some more Flesh and Blood content. See you later.